Hi everybody, Maria from BeFabBeYou. I'm your health and wellness coach. Sorry again for being kind of late. It's been a long day, but a good day. And today is day 10 out of my 30-day Facebook Live challenge. So I'm staying on and staying on track, so that's good. Cheers to me. And on the opposite side, I hope that I'm giving you value and food for thoughts on various aspects of health and wellness. That's also one of my main reasons to be doing this. So today, actually, I want to share something interesting that happened with a conversation with a potential client that really drives to the heart. This is a gentleman that is older than in his 60s, let's put this way, and he's got a few health concerns. And the reason that he's talking to me is actually his wife, found me and eventually said, hey, if you're interested, talk to this lady. I talked to her before, but anyway, while I was talking to him, I asked him, why are you calling? Right? And he gave me a few reasons. I said, but what really is the reason, right? What is the big why driving you to make this call and, interested in making changes to your lifestyle? And we go on and on, for a few minutes. And he says, the fear of a wheelchair. And that is because part of his career, he sees people in their aging process, they end up in a wheelchair. And the things that really drive him home are things, without disclosing too much, for love for multiple things that a wheelchair actually does not fit that picture, of doing all the things that he wants to continue to do in life. And he's been working really hard, to build that life. So that is, a moment that is really important for the person to realize. And before we are saying, he's got all the characteristics of a person who is ready for change. And that really makes, me feel happy. I feel happy when I encounter those individuals because he's at a point that, he's tired of not being happy. This fear, I said, fear just drives, what? Fear drives more insecurities, fear drives anxiety, fear drives higher stress, and really does not allow us to operate in our full potential. And this gentleman, he loves what he does. He loves to work and he doesn't see stopping because he likes the people, he likes his clients, he likes everything around. So here's a person he wants to continue to work. And I see myself doing that too. For a very long time. I don't see retirement. And, he wants to stay healthy finally. And he says it's time for a change, And that is, the change will finally happen, He's finally committed because he's like, this is important. This big why, of not falling into the wheelchair and achieving X, W, and Z that he wants to achieve is become really important now in his life. And he also sees that, waiting, there is a risk of waiting to take action later because you just don't know. So, also I want to touch on the fear aspect. What is fear? Fear is not really real, right? We all feel this thing. But what is fear? Fear is driven by actually the anticipation of the future. And if we live in the moment, then the fear doesn't exist. Right? So what can we do in the moment to not have fear is to actually have control, to a certain aspect. Control can be a negative word, but it's really feeling, in control, of the things that we're doing are good for us. And if we continue to do that day by day in the moment, the fear is going to, not exist. There is no reason to feel fear. So I think that's where he's at, and I wish, more people would be at that stage too, if they are not healthy, or feeling well. He wants to be happy. He wants to feel well because he wants to achieve multiple things and, obviously not be in a wheelchair. So anyway, have you thought about your big why? Have you thought about, you know, what your life is, or you want to be, or what the reason you're here, you know, either if it is 10 years from now, depending on your age, 20, 30, 40, you know, the reasons that made me change my lifestyle and eventually my career were actually fear of dementia and cancer. And I said, I'm going to do whatever I can to prevent those things. And no matter what, you know, what happens, if I will die, if God says, okay, I'm going to die from one of these things, I know that my journey as a healthier individual is going to be much easier and peaceful than if I were not, you know, healthy. So it is to my benefit no matter what, to live a life in the moment, you know, so I don't have those fears. And right now I don't live with those fears anymore. I know what I'm doing is the best for me, and I feel comfortable. And so it doesn't bother me that certain things are replaced in my lifestyle, you know, it doesn't really bother because I'm committed to that. So, you know, what I would invite you to do is remove those fears, if you have any fears like that, by thinking, what is the really reason that, you know, you would like a change, you know, maybe this is not the right time for you to make a change because you're not right time, you know, you're not in tune to that point yet, and that's okay. But also, you know, live in the moment, right? Doing the best that you know it's for you, for your body, for your mind, and these fears are going to be gone, all right? And then, because again, remember, fear is an anticipation of something in the future. So let's control today, and you know, and I think we're gonna be much happier, you know, than actually most people out there. So taking charge, you know, taking action, I think that's the first step. One is being cautious about what we're doing, you know, being aware of the circumstances. Is, okay, do I need help? You know, if so, get help, right? And take action, commit to this. And the commitment is going to be very strong if we have this big why, you know, ahead of us. Okay, so anyway, that's the message today. And by the way, with all this, you know, I keep bringing this you know, anxiety, stress and all that, because it's really very alive in most of our life, you know, most of us, you know, and we cannot go without stress. And actually we need stress. Actually we need these hormones to keep, you know, cortisol to keep kicking, so we can run out of the tiger when it's needed. You know, let's you know, the stress does impact, you know, our health in many ways, especially in our blood sugar and you know, markers. So it will raise the blood sugar, which will raise inflammation. So you know, let's think ahead. You know, what does our actions you know, in the short and long term do to us? So what can we do today to kind of control those things, okay, in a healthier way, right? So anyway, have a good night. I'll try to do this a little earlier tomorrow, goodness. But you know, if you have a question, let me know. If you have a comment, please leave a note. And you know, have a good night, and thanks for watching. And any questions, again, drop a note or visit BeFabBeYou.com. And take care. Bye-bye.